Hello everybody, how are you guys doing today? My name is Claudia and this is Katie Counseling. Welcome back to my channel. I will actually take my glasses off today because I have my makeup done. Okay, so today I want to talk about supervision. I want to talk everything supervisor, supervision, how it goes, what my thoughts are on supervision and everything between, right? And I actually do want to talk about how, as clinicians, we can be licensed supervisors as well in multiple capacities. Before I get started, you guys, follow me at Katie Counseling on Insta, and if you have any questions, DM me there or just leave some comments down below, and I will answer whatever questions you guys have. So yeah, I was thinking about this topic the other day because I've been on my site for like 9 or 10 months now, and you really get to understand what a supervisor does because I'm a supervisee. I see what they do. And a bonus perk of being a therapist, in my case, when you get a Master of Science or a Master of Arts in Clinical Mental Health Counseling, or in Marriage and Family Therapy, or in social work, you can become a licensed supervisor for grad students and for registered interns under all those professions. And I think that a psychologist or somebody with a doctoral degree that does therapy can be our supervisor as well. It doesn't just have to be MFT, social worker, or a LPCC, LMHC licensed counselor in the United States. So yeah, today I just wanted to kind of go over like what kind of relationship people have with their supervisor and how it goes and the different modalities of supervision, right? So the first one that you may or may not know about is your faculty supervisor. This is a professor, most likely with a doctoral degree, that is teaching at a master's level, and they are your supervisor from the school. So that's your person that you are supervised by from the university. And this type of supervisor usually has, for us, we have an hour and a half with her every week, and it's a group supervision. So we have my whole cohort that is with me right now that will graduate with me, and we all have supervision together, and we go over our tapes together, we talk about cases together, and we spend an hour and a half every week, which is a K-CREP requirement, getting supervised by our teacher, our supervisor. She's a licensed supervisor. I think she has a doctoral degree in education for therapists, and so that's one form of supervision. A second form of supervision is my site supervisor, okay? So once I got a site, getting a site means a licensed mental health therapist or a licensed social worker or somebody that is fully licensed and has extra hours in supervision, meaning they can be a supervisor for grad students or for people that had just graduated graduate school and are a registered intern. They have extra training in this, and with the state of Florida are registered as a supervisor. So what we do there is I have to meet with my on-site supervisor for 1 hour every week at least. But for myself, I know everybody's different. I get a one-on-one, so I sit down with her, we talk. Or she'll ask me what I want to work on, or she'll give me feedback on one of my tapes, or she'll give me feedback on how I did in group, or we do have multiple supervisors at my site, so I do get feedback from other licensed supervisors, but they are not my licensed supervisor on paper. I have supervision at my site with my supervisor, and this is what I wanted to bring up because I hear different people's experiences with supervision, and there's some people that literally get that 1 hour with their supervisor a week, and that's it. And sometimes they have group supervision, but I think for it to count as supervision, it has to be 1 to 2 people or 3 people. I don't know I think everybody has their own rules, but when I log it into the system, it says 1 or 2 for individual supervision, right? But I know that I think during graduate school the rules are different than once you graduate, because I think once you graduate and you need those other whatever hours it is for your state, for us it's 1,500 hours. So for those 1,500 hours that I will need to get a full license here in the state of Florida, I think you can have group supervision with like 5 people, 6 people, it doesn't matter. Just you have to make sure your licensed supervisor is on your documentation for your registered intern application. So let's rewind really quickly. You have your supervisor at school, you have your supervisor at your site when you're in graduate school. Then when you graduate, you have a licensed supervisor, which could be the same person if they are willing. You have a licensed supervisor until you're fully licensed, until you can call yourself a fully licensed, for myself will be a licensed mental health counselor in the state of Florida. Once I graduate, I will register once I get a supervisor, and I'll be a registered clinical mental health intern until I reach those 1,500 hours, until I reach all the supervision hours I need. So that's kind of supervision. So let's get to the fun part. So one day, you guys can be a supervisor too. So I believe if you're fully licensed, and I think in the state of Florida, don't quote me on this, but I think it's you have to be fully licensed for, I don't know, a year or 2, or maybe you just have to be fully licensed and do the extra credentials, extra like continuing education to be a supervisor, and then you have to keep renewing that every time you get your license. But yeah, here's some things that I've heard when, let's say you are working with students that have graduated, that are registered interns, you can charge anywhere between $50 to $250 a week for supervision. So a lot of people use this as a different part of their private practice, where you're giving supervision to other students, but also if you're giving supervision to other students, you're taking on the liability of these individuals. So it is not a thing where you're like, oh my gosh, I can just do this with everybody. No, it is a relationship you have to build, and you have to trust the person that you're working with. So yeah, we don't really, I didn't have a class in school about this. I know it was one of the classes that are electives, but they were not available to me. But I think other universities do have this class where they teach you how to become a licensed supervisor after, what are the benefits, how people do it, how to, you know, continue in this profession and to keep growing. So I just wanted to bring that to you guys today because I think it's really interesting. Your relationship with your supervisor is very important. You have to make sure you're clicking with the people. You have to make sure that you are a good fit for where you're at, because you do spend a lot of time with them, and a lot of times you do learn like the theoretical orientation of your supervisor. So it's really important to really match yourself to somebody you want to learn from, and that will just give you a better return on your investment of time, you know. But yeah, I want to leave that here today. You guys have a wonderful day. Let me know if you have any questions. Please leave a little fishy emoji below if you made it to the end. All right, guys, have a good day. Bye-bye.